she had to make a difficult decision that would impact the course of her life. With her family's livelihood on the line, she made the ultimate choice to take care of her family while giving up her own dreams. For many people in her entourage, it was a mistake. However, 30 years later, my mother would still make the same sacrifice. On my father's side of the family, a similar sacrifice was made. My grandparents, having just reached retirement, gave up their plans to raise two of their grandkids for many years, who at the time were 1 and 3 years old. In a very unpredictable yet very well orchestrated manner, both these sacrifices led to my parents meeting, and here I am. As some of you may know, Easter is around the corner. From a religious standpoint, the period of 40 days that come before Easter is called Lent. It is a custom for Christians during Lent to self-impose some form of sacrifice in order to make oneself grow. Sacrifices are an act of giving up something valuable for the sake of something else that is perceived to be of greater worth. Whether you are religious or not, the power of sacrifice cannot be underestimated in our own lives. Sacrifice is not just an act of selflessness, it is a catalyst that can shape the path of our own stories. It allows us to grow and thrive, to become the best versions of ourselves. Parenthood is an example of having to make continuous sacrifices. Quite often, they give up their own dreams and aspirations to ensure that ours are fulfilled. They do their best to provide for us, such as an education that will set us up for success. We often take for granted the sacrifices they make simply because we view it as normal or expected. Perhaps I skewed the narrative with my introduction, but sacrifices don't have to be all grand and epic. It's the little sacrifices that we make every day that add up to something big. I mean, who doesn't love binge watching Netflix? But what if I told you that sacrificing just 30 minutes of your spare every day to work on your homework could make a huge difference in your accomplishments? It may not seem like much at first, but when you mix in some consistency, it builds discipline and sets you up for future achievements. When there's success in a society, it's often at the expense of someone's sacrifice. Stansted is a welcoming second home to all of us, and its warm family dynamic is the result of many people's sacrifices. These sacrifices can be attributed, for example, to Mr. Simard's gift of time to come and cheer us on at most games, the Fauché Saturday morning crepes, or Spurk who cut his anniversary dinner short to judge the science fair, only to name a few. As I mentioned, every vital community is due to someone's sacrifice. Stansted is no exception. Some very generous people at this school dedicate their personal lives to aid us and enhance our overall experience to the maximum possible extent. All of these people could instead be watching a TV show, sleeping in, and even spending time with their own families. Let's be thankful for these sacrifices we benefit from, and let's also not always be on the receiving end. Therefore, next time you want to be in front of a screen, rather try to give back to our community. Sacrifices are not the easy way out. However, we must embrace them since they can often lead to much more fulfilling paths than we could expect.